Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain here. Alright, so now we're going to talk to Rouge again. And this will just bring us to our next part. So we just finished Party Crashers in that video. Again, if you're watching this one, do apologize that it was a little bit longer than it had to be. Generally speaking, you get that quest done in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you've got a good group and you're not going through and doing all those optionals. This one should be a little bit quicker. They do still have a few optionals, but they don't have us going so far out of the way each one. So this quest here is called the Snitch. So it starts in the side of the tavern here. And it goes through, basically we're chasing down the Snitch. Ooh.
The sounds and smells of the busy tavern.
So our hireling kind of disappeared on us.
Perhaps Roderick Nettle won't cause a scene if you ask him a few discreet questions in a public place.
Alright, so what we can do here, we have a few patrons. However, if we talk to this guy, and he uses the wand, turns out these patrons aren't really patrons and they are cabal. Once they are all eliminated, everybody but the bartender there, he opens up the bottom path and basically the way to escape. In here, now this part, most people choose to just run past. So while he's summoning them, if you actually just run in and pull the lever, you can actually sneak down the path before these guys fully spawn in, and of course start attacking. Once we're down here, a little bit of this over here. So once we're down here, we notice him again, and he spawns in a whole bunch of ooze around the outside edge here. However, we have a valve here, which we can turn on if it, wants to turn on. Oh, they got rid of that. So this is supposed to be a flame jet. So you turn it on. Oh, of course. Now it wants to go off. So you can actually convince them to come back out. So what's supposed to happen here is when you pull this valve, it turns on these flame jets and cooks all the ooze. Easy kill. Warning though, it will cook teammates, so just watch yourself. Now up here, you just need to come, so at the bottom, you need to go all the way down the northeast pass here. And actually, if you're at the bottom, this is the only path that you can go, as they have the furnace here. So you just want to head through the pipe here. There are a few rats. Hang a left, up the ladder. Another rat, hang a right, up the ladder. And we want to pull this valve here. This one will open up all the rest of the doors on the top level, which we do need open in order to continue on. So from here, you just want to climb all the way up to the top. So you can do so by any of those 3 ladders. And the tunnel that we need, so as you see, it does open every tunnel. However, we only need one of them to proceed on, and it's this one here. We will go through the other ones as well, but alright, so this is the tunnel here. So if you come up this ladder here, it's not the first door, but it is the second door. Rats. One. Alright, and then from here, you would just come into this part here. As you see, we are seeing a trap. And you can disable that trap. It is a flame jet trap. You can disable it by pulling on this control panel. Now, if you do want to get the full bonus, generally speaking, I don't even usually get the full bonus in here. It is worth a fair amount of experience, and it can be done very quickly if you ignore all the optionals here. However, for the video, I do want to show you them all. So, continuing down this same path, we have a ladder at the end. Come on up the ladder, and if you would have heard it, we are seeing a secret door. So it puts us in this tiny little room with some breakables. On the other side of this door, however, it opens up into another room with a door, or shaft down. Sorry, not another door. And this just brings us into another one of the pipes. Now this one, however, actually has a whole bunch of traps in it. You can just slowly make your way through, just timing them, and getting the control panel. If, however, you don't feel like going through those traps, instead of going through that door first, you can just come to this one here, grab the trap, and go up that way. Alright, so now we have two more paths, as this is the one we entered in originally. This one has nothing in it but a breakable. So all that's left are the two paths leading on the south. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. So if you pick this one, it just leads you right into this room immediately. Personally, I go through this one here. So the southeastern one. It just brings you in, and it has a walkway rather than jumping into the pool there. So from here, you need to jump and grab this ladder, and you can climb up the ladder, bringing you up top here. You know, up brings you up, of course. This one also has a secret door. Now, this one actually has a potential optional that can spawn in. So we're going to see if he is home, which he is not. So we're just going to grab the dust. So as you see, also breakables down here, which if you do want that full ransack bonus, you do need to go through and collect all those breakables. Alright, so now that we've completed this room entirely, all that's left is to continue on. Now they do have two directions to go here, so as it makes it blatantly obvious, there's a path here. However, if you swim under the water, you'll notice another tunnel here. This one also has a potential optional, which we actually do get. So that one isn't always there. We did luck out when we got them. Just gonna grab that there, and then head on back into the water. Alright, from here, it's just up the ladder, and up the ladder again. Now, again, some more breakables. Now, I do want to point out, if you do want the full ransack bonus, one of these valves we can't pull right away. We do have to go down the path. So as you see, each one connects to one of these pipes. We need to eventually turn them all off. But right now, while there's still water flowing in them, we are actually able to swim through this one here, the northeastern one, and actually be able to grab this ladder. If we are to turn off the water, however, to this one, the ladder is just too high for you to jump up to and grab. So this is also the only way to get to this shrine to heal yourself, is before you've pulled that valve. So that this one here is also a use or lose shrine. Alright, so now that we've gone through this tunnel specifically, so again, this is the northeastern one, we can then go ahead and pull them. This one doesn't really lead anywhere, so I can show you down here. And as well, if you notice, the ladder goes all the way to the bottom. That is, if you hop in after the fact, you can still get up. And then the final one here, we actually need to, by turning the valves here, they shut off in these sections and start flowing through this one. So each one that we pull, the water actually gets higher and higher in that last one until we pull all three, and it's only coming out of this one. It raises the water high enough so that it allows you to actually swim all the way up and out. As you see, it does have a current pushing you out. Now you'll notice there was a valve up there. You used to be able to be shot out of that pipe all the way and land up there. However, they now have like an invisible wall that prevents that from happening.
If you could lower one of the nearby ladders, you would be
Alright,
able to climb up
so
onto
this
the
section
roof.
here, as you noticed, we do have some gargoyles here and some gargoyles there. If we pull our lever, Roderick then actually brings these gargoyles to life. He doesn't do the one out here, but he does hit the ones in here from there and up top. So we've got a Reaper as well. But as you see, the Reaper is also behind a wall. Luckily enough, he is not actually attacking us. Otherwise, that could get to be very annoying. Alright, so the next thing here, we have one more valve. Once we pull this one, there are going to be some rats coming out of these vents, which is why I dropped down the turret, just to give ourselves a little bit of extra cover and some damage. Alright, I don't know if that was a new Fear Reaper, or he just finally came down off his perch. Nope, that was a new one, so he's still up there. However, now that we've pulled that valve, this is where it drops down all those extra barriers. So, allowing us to hit that guy up there. That valve also dropped this ladder here, so if you notice here, it kind of comes in sections. This is where that drops. Now, right here, we do have a control panel. As I'm sure you can guess by the two large burn marks on the ground, it is a flame trap. Coming through here, we again fight him. Now this quest has a lot of party locking locations. This one being one of them here. It will not progress until all the party members are on that rooftop. So you can't actually have someone rushing ahead and completing the quest without ever doing this part. It won't let you progress. Once the whole party is here, it basically creates a fence around this top here, and it's an electric fence. It also then spawns in the god of boxes, Kratos. Honestly, he's not that big of a deal. On Epic, he's a little bit tougher, but everything is on Epic. Once he dies, it unlocks the valve here, allowing us to turn off the electric fence and continue on. Now, it also gives us a chest. This chest doesn't have anything special, but, you know, feel free to loot it. You're right here. Our next part, we gotta continue across the rooftops, so we can walk across this here. And it has a ladder for us to come up. Now, here we actually have some shrines. Now, the next thing to point out right here, there are some traps. Now, these ones, however, despite the little scorch marks, are actually just air jets. If you do not have a trapper, this part can be annoying because when you try to walk across, it just pushes you off. However, one, I am a trapper and I will get that trap, but I do just want to show you the little tricks that that we found, like I found out playing this game. that'll help when you don't always have a trapper. This actual extra extended little bit right here, if you are walking, if you know how to walk, call 1-800 not Valagar. Yeah, so if you walk across that pipe there that I was about to step on, again, sorry about that, those air jets actually will not go off. So just jump here. So here, as you see, the air jet traps are not going off. If we step onto the roof, however, they will then activate and throw us off. So that is one way across. But of course we have a trapper. We're just going to grab that. Alright, this one spawns in some hellhound. So the turret itself isn't going to be particularly handy in damage, but as you'll notice, even after they've killed the turret, it still regains their aggro there for a moment. Sometimes lasting all the way up until it despawns. So I know that's most likely not an intended bug, but you can definitely make use of that while it's still here, where it's still, even after its death, it still retains its aggro for a little while. Alright, so this valve here, this one is a completely optional one. What it does is actually just drops this ladder here. That way if you have any latecomers or somebody who keeps falling and can't make it across, you can actually just pull this valve and drop that ladder. It also does spawn in a couple of rats here, so 2 on that side, 1 on that side. So nothing major, but just be aware. Once you do that, so again, completely optional, not needed. All that is needed is you got to pull this valve here. That's it. Once you pull that, you can just hop on right down. You don't even need to drop that ladder. From here, you want to head back to the pool where you came in. Of course, we're not coming up through that way. However, it opened up this door here and allows us to continue again further. Alright, so from here, there is only one way you can swim down and see. The only way is to continue east, hop up the ladder. Right away, there's an ooze to deal with. So just be aware of that. And then again, another ladder. A few breakables, nothing special. Now we can choose to hop down here and talk to this gentleman here. And he kind of basically says nothing. Doesn't really give you any information here. They also have Mistress Jalea. You can actually talk to her, and she wants you to get a letter out of her mailbox there. She can say either no or yeah, you'll happy to help. This is an optional path, as obviously you can't just go through the door there. But it's an extra optional on top of an optional. And I'll explain that in a moment there when we get to that part. So from here again, you want to continue on the rooftops to this part. Now, as you see, they do have an optional for not awaking the sleeping dogs. Now, in order to do that one, you do need somebody with a hide and move silently skill to be able to go down and pull that lever there. From there, it will open up that door. Then only the person with the hide and move silently should be going. Again, if you are attempting this optional, they will be able to go up top here. And as you see, as we approach, it puts up a magical barrier. So they'll be able to use hide and move silently, sneak up through that, down that vent, and then it comes up through that one just right there. They can pull this lever, which drops this barrier, allowing the rest of your party to proceed, and that's how you not wake the sleeping dogs. However, I do not have the ability to hide or move silently, So I'm just gonna, from up top here, is to just shoot the dogs. Alright, now once they're all dead, hop down, pull my lever, and away I go. Alright. So this is that tunnel that they would be taking. Now this room, as soon as I get up here, I'm not going to move. There's Roderick Nettle there. There's the lever that we want to pull there. And the lever, the valve he's standing on is actually locked until you complete a fight in this room. However, I want to show you, if you have the jump, and you do need a fair amount of jump here for this, and everybody in the party has jump, because if not, then it is pointless. What you are able to do is actually come in here, so he'll start spawning things, but gives you enough time to actually jump right up top there, if you can time it. I apparently do not have enough jump to be able to do that. So I do need to do this fight. Now, the first time he tried to summon, what happened was it failed. It actually summoned something he wasn't intending, which ran behind that waterfall there. So that is that first optional that we need to do in order to deliver the mail. Now, most people choose not to do this one, again, as it is out of the way. All they do is, if they can't make the jump, they stop, they pull the lever, or the valve, dropping the ladder, allowing them to continue to the end fight, which is just on the other side. Again, however, that's not us. We're going to do everything. So we see Slay Rusty. So this was what he had ended up summoning, was a giant rust monster. You would have seen it if I wasn't trying to make that jump. He spawns up here. He immediately runs through the door, which is how the door opens. And apparently he climbs down the tunnel, goes through the tunnel, and climbs back up on the other side. Now, a thing to point out here is this here. So there we can see him. He is a very potent boss enemy. However, there is a trick to defeating him. So the first trick comes in, you want to just, you gotta start you have to be a ranged damage character. First thing you want to do is get his aggro. The second you have it, you want to actually just come through here, jump onto the back. He doesn't know how to get to you because this does encompass the whole thing. He will stand back and just shoot his acid, which does very minimal damage. So if you have just any type of acid resistance, it's not too hard. And this is where, I mean, as you can see, he has just over 3,000 hit points, which is actually more than the end boss. Plus he's a rust monster, so if you're wearing any metal gear or any metal weapons, as you're attacking him, like melee attacking him, he will more than likely destroy it before you are able to complete. So this is why I always employ this trick. Now there used to be another trick where you would literally just hop down the tunnel, reclimb back up the ladder, and then the second you got to the top, you would just not move. So you would just climb up and you'd park right here, and again he would still read you as down the ladder. However, they've gone through and fixed that option, so that one no longer works. But if you jump to the back, you can actually stand here and you can, you know, as you saw, shoot him. Alright, so in this one here we do have that an optional chest as well as a few more breakables, which as you can see not needed to get ransacked. But here is that mailbox that that person was trying to get you to get, so we can get the sealed letter and we can actually just through the gates talk to them, turn it in. Little extra experience. So that's the optional through the optional. and get a little extra loot. Nothing special out of that one. Um, yeah, most quests don't have anything special, and I think I'll stop calling it unless it has something special. Otherwise, we're going to be saying that a lot. Alright, so from here, we just need to backtrack to that other room where we started. We're going to above, hit up our ladder, and then finally it drops us here. This is the end fight. Now I do want to point out that it will create a barrier there. That barrier does not go down even when you complete. So this is another one of those all the party members must be here before it starts type thing. However, if you hop down and then climb up immediately, it will trap you on the other side of that wall, making it impossible to assist in the end fight, as well as get your end loot. So just watch out. This fight, I mean, it can be a little difficult. He's got some AoE spells, so chain lightning and the like, and he is immune to fire. But as you can see, unlike the rust monster, he has half the hit points there. So he usually isn't too big of a deal. Again, a fairly nice amount of experience. And if you have the monster manual, you know, unique monster manual Slayer. And that's it. So again, fairly simple. Again, it took us 25 minutes to get through. But if you're going through and you're not going through all these optionals, you can usually get through it in under 10 minutes. Just bust through. You know, you got your jump. I think I've done it in as little as about 5 to 6 minutes for everything. You know, skipping all the oozes, all the rats there at the bottom, the initial fight. You know, there's a lot that we did that you can just skip through. And, you know, you can get this one really done really quickly. Ultimately, the only main fights that you have is that first one there at the top of the tavern. As soon as he opens that door, if you just blitz past him, pull the lever, you can drop down there. Then at that room where it has the furnace, if you just jump down to the bottom, go up, hop, pull the lever, you can hop back down. By that point, he will start spawning in those oozes. Ignore him, you can run up. Then if you head down the tunnel that you need to go down, you know, again, not even anybody you gotta kill. If you have the fire resistance, you can run past. If not, you might have to kill one rat, one ooze. Then it brings you to the room, you know, where he's summoning those gargoyles. Again, you can run right past them to the valve. Pull that valve, which spawns in the rats. Again, you can run past them. Go up the ladder. The next fight, it stops you. You do have to fight Kratos, as won't unlock until you go through. So other than that start fight, Kratos is technically the next enemy that you have to kill. Other than that, you can rush past them. I personally, I don't recommend any of that, but it is doable. So you run past them there, you get to, you know, hop down. Again, you don't have to fight those dogs. Hop down, and then, you know, if you have the jump, you can skip that other fight to unlock that valve. You know, ultimately, you've got the, what, five or six tieflings at the start, then Kratos, then the boss. Like, you don't have a lot of enemies that you have to fight, so this one can be done really quickly. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.